Well, you never want to be the last talk of the day, but here we are. Hope you guys not tired. Yes? No? Wake up! Well, before we start, raise your hand if you think that one day machine is going to replace you at work. No way. Not a lot. The guys who raised your hand, sorry to tell you that you're probably right. Well, about myself, I'm Eliran. I'm a front-end developer specialized in B2C applications. I'm a consultant and trainer in a company named 500 Tech. We're helping a lot of companies in the Israeli market doing better front-end. If you wonder why you see the Angular logo on my slides, that's because I'm mainly doing Angular on my day-to-day, and you mostly find me talking about Angular. Yesterday I also gave an Angular workshop about server-side rendering with Angular. Any of my students here? Cool. Today we're going to talk about AI in JavaScript in general, but we probably find a connection to Angular in a way. Besides working on Angular, I'm also running two things which I'm really proud of. The first one is Angular IL meetup, a top 10 meetup in the biggest Angular meetups in the world. And the second is Angular App, which is the annual worldwide conference taking place in Tel Aviv. If any of you guys next month, if you're interested in Angular, and next month you are in Tel Aviv, give me a call. Of course, you're more than welcome to catch me outside to chatting about Angular. More than welcome. Well, enough talking about myself. Let's talk about AI, JavaScript, and everything that goes in between. I think the biggest buzzwords of the last few years are definitely AI and machine learning. Especially in the Israeli market, everybody talking about AI. Everybody else in the crowd feeling like everybody is always talking about AI? Well, it became funny. All my friends now, even those who weren't even close to data, calling themselves data science. And I've checked Google Trends, and as you see, since 2014, the trends for AI and machine learning is just growing. I was wondering to myself, why everybody is calling themselves data science, till I find this chart. Makes sense, huh? Well, looking at the related queries, just support my feeling that this topic always reserved only for Python developers, data science, or anyone else who are much smarter than me. And I have to admit, I always was amazed by the things that people doing with AI. As a front-end developer, I always thought to myself, why can't we do AI in JavaScript? The truth is we actually can, and with those two we can do it easily. First, let's jump back to the start. What is AI anyway? The theory and development of computer system able to perform tasks normally requiring human intelligence, or in other words, everything that computers do, but need the intelligence of a human. Examples? Anyone talks to Siri? She's getting smarter, isn't it? Well, it seems like with times go by, she learned to understand us much better than before. How about Amazon Alexa? How she's find everything so fast? Tesla car? They're actually willing to take humans outside of the driving seats. Netflix? Did you got the recommendation you've been looking for? Or if you're like me, I once watched Narcos on Netflix, and now forever I'm going to get all the recommendations for all the drug barons of South America. Google, the search engine, the ads and commercial you see so often, sometimes it feels like it's made just for you. Oh, this one is my favorite. Someone ever got a phone call from a credit card company asking if he really trying to make this transaction? Yes? I have to admit, I've got married 2 years ago, and ever since it's happening to me every few months. Before that, it never happened to me. But What caused those companies to suspect that transaction over another? AI is really everywhere, but above all those examples, this one really caught my attention. Somebody, it's happened to somebody? No? Yes? Someone added a photo you might be in. What? How they know? Mind-blowing, isn't it? The answer is image recognition, and that's what I'm going to be focused on on today's talk. Let's try to understand it by a simple example. Oh, sorry. Let's go to the example. Yeah. Just a second. Great. We all can see it, right? Well, I'm going to use my webcam, okay, to train a model which going to get 3 different kind of photos. Let's say when I'm steering my head to the right, I'm training to the green route, okay? I take few samples. Every time I'm going to put my hand in front of the camera, I'm going to the purple route, okay? And every time I'm going to, let's say, steering my head to the left, okay? It's going to be the orange one, okay? Now I have the model already trained, and it actually works. You see the differences? Everything is just with JavaScript. Hey, it's too soon for claps. Well, another example. Let's see something else. I'm going to pick some pictures from the list. This is a pre-trained model, okay? And I'm going to, every time I'm picking a picture, the application is actually classified in what's inside the picture. So you think that this is a red fox or a kid fox. Let's try something else. Maybe piano, grand piano with good percentage. Apple, also good one. Let's take something, the wine. Wine is interesting. Red wine, also good percentage. I also can upload a picture. Let's take this koala. And as you see, the koala actually is getting a good percentage. The reason is because this image is part of the dataset of the training that this model. Well, sorry. Great. So what's behind it? Believe it or not, it's biology. Neurons. Somebody know what neurons are? The one that hopefully our mind are full of? Oh, sorry. Too fast. Yeah. Any guess how many neurons a human brain got? 90 billions, millions, billions. The important fact is that this is what creates the intelligence part in our brain. Okay? And now let's try to take this thing and convert it into a mathematical model. How can we implement a neuron using code in the most simple way? So it's probably a node which getting some inputs and generating them into one output, right? In most cases, one neuron wouldn't be enough to creating prediction model we want. So we're actually converting it into a neural network that looks like that, or if to be precise, something like this. Much complicated. Let's go back to the simple example. Well, any input value getting weights on the nodes, okay? And by running some activation function, we're getting the output on the other edge, okay? But let's say we know that the output shouldn't be 1, it should be 0. So we know we should recalculate the weights on the nodes, right? So the next time we're going to give the same example, we're going to get the right result. This process called the training, and that's how our model is getting better and better every time we give it more data. One of the most efficient ways to create neural network is technology called TensorFlow, and almost a year ago, TensorFlow announced TensorFlow.js. I have to admit that at first I thought that this is sort of a binding between TensorFlow and JavaScript. TensorFlow, by the way, is a full framework. It's written in C. You have to download it. You have to install it in your machine. But surprise, TensorFlow is a complete rewrite of TensorFlow.js is a complete rewrite of TensorFlow in JavaScript. And why it's important? It's important because we actually can do now machine learning in the browser without any dependency. You're probably asking yourself how the browser can do such mathematical processes in a reasonable time. Thanks to a technology called WebGL, we can run JavaScript code using our graphic memory card, which is much faster and stronger than the RAM memory. You want to see some code? So, in order to do machine learning in the browser, we only have to do one import, the one on the top. Or, if you want it in the old-fashioned way, just one script tag. You can train models, or you can load them, pre-trained models. And now that we got all the basic covers, let's write some code together. So, our demo objective was to create our own image classifier. We're going to use TensorFlow.js with MobileNet. MobileNet is a pre-trained model, a really popular one actually. The reason it's called MobileNet, it's because this model is used actually for mobile devices. It loads fast comparing to other prediction models. So we're going to do two things. The first one is load the pre-trained model. The first one, we're going to upload the file to the browser, and we try to predict what's inside the image. Okay? And the second one is maybe more interesting because we're going to wire up the webcam and try to predict what we're seeing in the webcam. I'm going to use Angular application with TypeScript, but the general idea is what's important, not the specific framework implementation. So, sorry. Live coding. Well, we can close those two. Let's start from the upload of image, okay? We have nothing inside right now. So, upload the image. Yeah. First thing I want to do is to import TensorFlow.js, okay? Import MobileNet to be exact. So I'm going to import everything as MobileNet from library that I already pre-installed, okay? TensorFlow models, MobileNet. Now, what I'm going to do is to declare two things. The first, I'm going to declare model of type any, and the second is loading of type boolean. So we have the indication that the model is already loaded and we can start using it. On init, I'm going to set the loading to true, and this model is going to be await MobileNet.load. If I'm using await inside a function, the function has to be async, and this loading is going to be false. Now, second thing I want to do, let's start on the template, working on the template. The next thing we want to do is have here a div of custom input, custom file, and here I'm going to have a input of type file with class of custom file input with a label of let's give it a class of custom label and select file. Right now, the second thing I want to add is the loading indication. So I'm going to have another div with image src for assets loading dot gif. That's it for now. Let's see. We have the loading. Now when MobileNet is finished to load, so we can start using it. Well, I hope the internet is going to be more fast. In the meantime, let's keep on moving with the code. Well, the second thing I want to do is actually show a preview of the image. Okay, so I'm going to add here a function on change event. I'm going to have change file change and send the $event. Here, let's have it. Also, it's going to be an async function. Now, first, we're going to get the file that coming from the event target files 0. If we got file, we want to declare a reader, new file reader, and inside the reader we want to read it, read as data URL, taking the file, okay, and onload, the reader onload function should give us a result of type any that inside of it we actually can get the file. So let's save it in image src, which is going to be of type string. This image src this image src is going to be res target result. Great. Now let's show the preview. So of course this one is going to be with the if for loading, and when we're finishing loading, ng template going to be with the else block. Else block, and inside of here we want to show the image itself. So we're going to bind to the src property and we're going to put the image source only if we have image source. Let's see. Now MobileNet is loading. We're going to let's take the koala. We're seeing the koala. Nothing special. Now let's add the classifier. Now when we have this, we want to have a set timeout, and inside of it we want to do one thing. I'm going to declare another const of predictions of type prediction. Prediction is a type that I created. It has only two things. The first is class name and the second is probability. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going inside the set timeout, I'm going this prediction. This prediction is going to be await this model dot classify with, of course, if we're using the await, so this should be an async function. And this classify, let's catch also the image ref. So I'm going to have here this, and with view child in Angular we can catch the reference img of type element ref, and this image dot native element. Last thing we have to do is just connect this prediction to the template so we can see which prediction we have. So I'm going to have a class of list group and list group item with an ng4 let item of predictions. Now let's just print every class name and item dot probability with the percent pipe. Great. Going to work? Let's see. Now let's have the koala. You see the predictions? Thank you. Let's try another one. Wine. Googled. Red wine. Let's try to take my picture. Koala. No. Actually, you know what's really interesting here? It's got the mic in a 16%, but 7% of a mask. That's funny. Well, you saw how easy it was. 5 minutes of coding, and we have an image classifier with only JavaScript, okay, of images. Let's do the webcam thing. So before that, I have to admit I took every swag that the sponsor give outside, so we're going to check them. Everything is here down. I also bring some things of my own. I have my own socks, a special one, the pink one. This is my lucky sock. So we finished with those. Let's go to the webcam. Again, first thing we want to do is load MobileNet. So I'm going to import again, import everything as MobileNet from TensorFlow MobileNet, and again let's declare a model of type any and a loading of type boolean. This loading true. This model is going to be await of MobileNet.load. This loading false, and async of course. Now, in order to get the webcam, what should I do? I'm going to use HTML5 tag called video, okay, and ask for autoplay muted. The width it's going to be just 300 pixel together with height of 300 pixel as well, and also let's have it a local reference of a video. Let's also add the loading indication, div ngIf for loading, and inside of it just the image of the loader. Assets loading.gif. Great. If I look now in my app inside the webcam, so I don't have anything. Why? Because I need to connect the source of the video. So how I'm going to do it, I'm going to implement another hooks by Angular called after viewing it, when I know that I have the view. And now inside of it I'm going to do the next thing. It's also going to be an async function. First I want to check something. I want to check if the user navigate or have the media devices dot get user media. Okay, if I have it, I can do the next thing. I can go to navigator media devices dot get user media and ask for the video. This thing is going to return me a promise which going to get a stream, and with that stream, I'm going to catch the video that I'm already did. So let's add a view child of video, and let's call it a video. Again, it's element ref. Great. And this video dot native element dot source object is going to be equal to the stream. Let's check it right now. Huh. That's me. Let's add the prediction of what we're seeing. Okay, so on init, I'm going to add an interval. Every 3 seconds, we're going to see the prediction of what we're seeing. Okay, so let's add an interval of every 3 seconds. It's going to come with an async function. Of course, let's add the predictions of type prediction array. This prediction is going to be equal to await this model classify of this video native element. Great. Let's just have the predictions inside the template. So another div with the list group and div class of list group item ng4 let item of predictions item dot class name and item dot item dot probability with the %. You ready for this? Let's see. Let's count 3 seconds. Microphone, mic. You actually got the mic. Ski mask I saw. Suit? This is not a suit. Well, let's check other things. It's getting it? Water bottle. Nice. Let's try this one. Airspray. One of the sponsors give sunglasses. Let's see if it catched it. Reflex camera. Not really. Oh, sunglasses. Cool, isn't it? Let's try my wallet. Count 3 seconds. Wallet. Remote control. Remote control. Last thing, where's the sock that I just... Ah, there it is. Going to walk. Cash machine. No, it's not a cash machine. But it's sort of working. Whoa.
Oh no, it's taking over.
Let's see, let's see. Are we good? We're good. Good. So, who loves Pac-Man? You love Pac-Man? Come to the stage. Give him a round of applause. What's your name? Angel. Angel. Hi, nice to meet you. Angel is going to play Pac-Man without touching the keyboard. Let me just get all those things down. We're actually going to train a model, okay, to play Pac-Man in a different way. So you're going to stand in front of the camera, and we're going to train the model for 4 types of pictures, okay? For up, down, all the directions, okay? So let's take samples. You choose how it's going to be the up direction. Like that. Try something even, I don't know, Okay, I go with you.
Like this is
So let's take pictures.
up.
Okay, now the right direction. Get inside yeah.
Better like this.
Okay, and left. Down. Now down. Let's train the model. Okay. I think you're ready to play. Wait a few seconds and now go for it.
Yeah, that's cool. I have to be.
You have another round.
Can I have it?
Yeah, you have another one.
We reinvented fitness here.
Uh,
Puta madre.
Last one.
I look really stupid now.
It's going to be just on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, before you go, what we learned today? You don't have to be a data scientist to do AI anymore. Okay? TensorFlow.js is independent and you can run AI in just a matter of one import. And if you wonder how the future of the front-end development is look like, my bet is that you just got a taste of it today. That's it. Thank you very much.